It is difficult to fight against anger, for a man will buy revenge with his soul. Okay, come on, down you go, I said, sitting the wobbly holly on the couch. Don't touch me! Oh, now you want to have an attitude after I drug your ass all the way here. Now? Just leave me alone, she mumbled, rolling over to face the wall. No, you don't get to pout, I shouted down at her, rolling her back to face me. And get that look off your face. You're the one who decided to show your ass, and it just so happened to be the same night that Karma decided to take a big bite out of it. About the time I was done chewing her ass out, I noticed her lip was starting to quiver, and great, her eyes were starting to water. I'm not going to feel bad. I am not going to feel bad. Shit. What the hell is your deal? I asked, sitting down on the couch next to her. I begged you not to pull this shit. Why? She sniffled a few more times before a long pause. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I just don't. I guess I was jealous. Bing. What the hell? My voice cracked as I pulled out my phone and checked the screen. Son of a bitch. How the hell did my actor beacon get turned on? Who cares? And he poured in a storm. I walked over to the TV and switched it on. Here, watch your murder documentaries. Just don't fall asleep. Naps and concussions don't mix real good. She sniffled one more time as she wiped her eyes. Okay. I grabbed my bag and put lights on my bike before heading to the door. But as soon as the door closed behind me, I stopped for a second, looking over my shoulder as I listened to the TV playing from inside my apartment. Seemed she began to cry. I shivered, trying to get my head right. I looked down and checked my phone to find the pickup. After I picked up the food, I found myself in front of an out-of-the-way motel. Once I found the right room and gave the door a few knocks, I heard a familiar voice from the room.
Hey, the food's here. Maybe this will make you feel better.
Hey, that sounds like... The door opened and a pale white faceless head poked out. Oh, hey, Ray. I wasn't expecting you. Oh, Jose. Come in, Ray said, opening the door and stepping aside. Borg was sitting on the edge of what used to be the bed, his head hanging low. Hey, big guy. What's wrong with him? I asked Ray when Borg didn't respond. He's been having a hard time since that little incident. He's normally a real scrapper, but he had a run-in with a skinwalker a while back. He thought he was fine, and that was the first confrontation he had since then. He's upset that he froze and wasn't able to help you. He's just in a weird place right now, Ray explained.
Bork, sorry, Jose,
he said, still not looking up from the floor. Oh, it's okay, big guy. Everything worked out all right. I reassured him as I sat my bag down next to him on the bed. As I unpacked the food, I heard a car horn from outside. That's our ride, Ray said, checking through the window. Your ride? Where are you guys going? We're heading back home upstate, Ray answered.
Bork going through things. Bork need time work on self, not buildings.
Wow, that's oddly self-aware of your Borg. They both gathered their bags and headed out, Borg almost forgetting his food on the way out. I followed them both to the car to see off Borg. I kinda like the guy, you know? Don't worry, big guy. I'm sure next time I see you, you'll be a brand new ogre.
Orc.
I'm sorry, what?
Bork orc. Bork not ogre.
No, you're not! Ray called from the back of the car as he threw the last bag into the trunk. Tolkien made up orcs for his books. There's no such thing. We've talked about this. It's okay, buddy, I said, noticing Borg start to sulk. You can be an orc if you want to be an orc. He smiled a big, tusky smile for me the first time that night, as I shut the car's door. I waved to him as they left and took a moment to think about my expanding definition of the word humanity. Once they were out of my sight, I turned my beacon off and picked up my... Shit, my bag was still in the room! After spending an unnecessary amount of time trying to get the guy at the desk to let me in the room, I was finally on my way home. As I hit a particularly quiet stretch of road, I caught a bad case of the willies. Any small rustle got my imagination running wild. Everything seemed to want a piece of me, and I never knew whose turn was up next. What was it this time? A giant pack of bugs? A monster crocodile? A Scientologist? My thoughts returned to reality when I noticed that this old guy on the road who kept giving me a hard time had thrown a bunch of broken glass out into the middle of the street to screw my tires. Ha! Gator skins, you crotchety old bastard! I called over to the man waiting on his porch for me as I rolled right over the shot debris like nothing. As I rode up to the apartment parking lot, I noticed Julie had went out of the office for something. I took the chance to see her and apologize for earlier. Knock knock, I announced, standing in the open doorway as I propped my bike against the office wall. Oh, hey. What are you doing back out? Oh, right. Somehow my delivery app got turned on and I got an order. This one don't let you take which ones you like the other ones. I explained. Oh, that sucks. But at least we got to run into each other one more time, she said with a cheerful tone. So, I'm sorry about all that crap earlier. It's this whole job-related nightmare, and she's up my ass 24/7, and I don't know what possessed her to do that. I'm sorry. Seems like she was jealous to me. What? What do you mean jealous? Why would she be jealous? I stammered. I'm messing with you, Jose. Calm down, she giggled. Oh, yeah. Jokes. Jokes are funny. Jokes are good, I gasped in relief. You're cute when you're clueless, she giggled, kissing me on the lips instead this time. See you tomorrow? Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll leave you to it, I said, heading back to the apartment, waving to her as I left. Hey, wake your dumb ass up! What did I tell you about falling asleep? I yelled at Holly as I walked through the door and found her asleep on the couch. Huh? Oh, hey, you? She said, rolling over and looking at me with a smile as she woke up. To which I replied, nah, as I ran up the stairs to my room. Holy hell, that was weird, I said to myself, closing the door behind me and pressing my body against it. What the shit was that feeling? She's using you, Jose. She's just using you. Ugh. Hey, Rissa, you there? I spoke to the open air of my empty room, hoping for someone to talk to. I hear trying to, but it's hard. I saw a flickering image as she tried to communicate with me. Rissa, what's going on? You good? I tried asking her, but she vanished before I got an answer. Oh God, what kind of fresh hell is this now? Deciding to just skip a shower and wash my sheets in the morning, I gave up on everything and went straight to bed with hopes of dreaming about my next date with Julie. But why can't I stop thinking about... My thoughts got interrupted by some kind of racket downstairs. Oh God, what's she into now? I groaned as I heard such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what the matter was. I swear to God, if you mess with my bike again... But I never got the chance to finish. As I walked into the darkened living room, a hand reached out and snatched me into the shadows. Shh, stay still. Stay quiet, Holly whispered into my ear. What? Why? I murmured through her hand. Be quiet, she hissed into my ear. That's when I heard and felt a heavy object fall into the ground from the roof of the apartment, followed by footsteps. Deep, heavy footsteps that caused the gravel outside to grind and crunch loudly, as if it was screaming in protest under the weight. Then I saw the thing's silhouette as it passed between one of the parking lot lights and my window. It started to tremble as it raised its head and began to sniff the air like it did before in the alley. Then I felt something else. Holly was shaking worse than I was. Oh God. As the thing sniffing got stronger and deeper, I braced myself, ready for it to crash through the window at any second. But then, it turned its head in the opposite direction and kept walking, making those awful ticking sounds as it went. Okay, you know something. What the hell is that goddamn thing? I whispered sharply to Holly. My boss's pet. What the hell is it doing here? I don't know, she answered with a shaky voice. Usually it only has one job. Find the man with the metal hand. But if you ran into him and it followed his scent on you, it wouldn't have hesitated like that. Something's wrong. What do you mean something's wrong? If you two fuckers work for the same guy, then you need to call someone and fix this shit right now. It won't work, she explained with an ice-cold hopelessness in her voice. He knows I'm here. So if he's sent here on purpose, then there's nothing I can do. But then, all of a sudden, my heart went from racing to a dead stop as I heard the bell of the office door ring as someone opened it. Terror washed over me as I realized what just happened. Oh, please, no. I repeated over and over as I charged out the door, a hydraulic wave of adrenaline, the only thing let me overpower my urge to stay frozen in place. I swung the door open with no intention of silence or stealth in that moment. I looked across the parking lot to see the light of a single lamp switch off inside the office as Julie walked out, closing and locking the door behind her. Julie! Julie! I shouted as softly as possible across the parking lot, trying to get her attention. Please! Fucking please! Julie! Look this way! I cried, waving my arms like a lunatic. Jose? What are you doing? She called out when she finally noticed me. You left your bike in the office. I was going to bring it back to you. Oh, thank God, Julie. Get back in the office right now. Get in there and hide. Forget the damn bicycle. I tried to tell her. We'll come over in the car and get you. Just stay there. We? Whose car? She asked with a confused tone. What's going on? She asked as she started to walk my way, rolling my bicycle beside her. Julie, stop, goddammit! Go back into the office! I ordered, finally succeeding in getting her to stop. Or at least that's what I thought until I felt Harley's shoulder brush against mine. Jose, what is she still doing there? Why is she in your apartment at the middle of the night? Julie asked with an expression of betrayal on her face. That's when it happened. I felt a sharp pain rake across my face as the force of the blow slammed me against the ground, knocking all the air out of my lungs. As I struggled to wipe the running blood from my eyes, I heard a scream of agony cut short in the distance. By the time my vision was back, I was already up and running in the direction of the sound. Hearing Harley close behind me, I was able to see again just in time to make contact with Julie's pleading eyes as the creature drug her into the tree line, her neck and shoulder mangled and bleeding torrently between the monster's jagged teeth. Jose, help! She tried to call out to me before the thing's jaws clamped down and the sound of her bones crumbling to pieces cracked like a whip across the still night air. Even in the dark, I could still see well enough to watch the light leave her eyes as my legs gave out underneath me. My bare knees slid across the gravel as Harley bolted past me, trying to catch up but sliding to a stop just short of the trees as the monster reptile carried Julie's lifeless body out of sight. She stood there for a few seconds contemplating following it into the woods. But once she decided there was no reason to go any further, she turned around and headed back to me. I felt more gravel under me as she drug me back across the apartment, blood running back down my eyes. As she tried to open the door, we saw it. A Neverland business card nailed to the door with a long dagger. Harley reached out and took the piece of paper before finally deciding to show it to me. There was a note on the back, addressed to me. No more distractions. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. I choked out, holding the now blood-stained card in my quaking hands as I heard Mr. Z and Han Lao shouting in the distance. What all that noise? Where my Julie? I still can't find her. Uncle, there's blood everywhere. Jesus Christ, look at Jose's face. What's going on? It is difficult to fight against anger, for a man will buy revenge with his soul.